welcome back to Clash of Cultures. As we continue along, pushing our way into the 2023 college football season, we take a look at the first marquee matchup this year, Thursday, which you guys are going to be seeing this video today. On Thursday, the Utah versus Florida game. Utah is looking to get their revenge for the last year's loss in the swamp against Florida. Obviously, Utah is the favorite in this game, with question marks surrounding Cam Rising, Anthony Richardson gone from Florida. So a lot of kind of storylines heading into this game. One team has playoff implications, looking to go back to back in their conference. Florida trying to silence the doubters as far as their rebuild goes. Obviously, the recruiting trail has still been good. But before we get into too much of the breakdown of this game and the two teams, as always, if you guys are new to the channel, make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you don't miss an upload. Our pickem is down below. Make sure you guys join before it is too late. We also have our Discord down below in the description. Make sure you guys join that. And lastly, we have the signed Heisman jersey coming at the 1,000 mark, the giveaway. Our second giveaway on this channel. It's been fun growing this channel and community, so we hope to see you guys all back. Live show is going to be this Sunday, recapping all the games. It may just be me this week. Hopefully my dad can find time to do it. If not, it's just going to be me this Sunday, but recapping our predictions and previews for all these games. So that's going to be pretty fun. But Dad, before we get into too much of it, I know that you have Utah winning this game. But as far as Florida, I know you have Florida down this year, but do you think this is going to be a close game, or do you think it's going to actually, no, you said it's going to be a blowout, right?
Well, so, and I'm not going to say I'm going to change my answer. And I know we kind of talked about this, I think either in the live show or another video we did.
It was another video.
But I think a big part of this is Cam Rising and if he's healthy enough. So I know he was still named the starter in the depth chart, but obviously that doesn't mean much. I think if Bryson Barnes has to get the start, I think Utah is a different team, obviously, and I think we saw when they played Washington State last year, they did not have Cam Rising, but they were able to still win that game. I think I would still pick Utah to win the game, but the quarterback is such a major part of a college football team, and Cam Rising, as dang near really seems like he's been at Utah forever as a super senior. Is such a big part of their success, especially the last 2 years as they've been back-to-back Pac-12 champions, that I don't think they will have the same product. I still think they beat Florida, but I think that would be a hit. And I think that would probably at least give me pause in saying that the game is going to be a blowout. I don't think the game would then be a blowout. I think Utah would still win. And I guess I'd say comfortably maybe 10. I think Utah still has a good defense, still has a good other players. But yeah, that would give me a little bit of a pause on calling this game a blowout. What are your thoughts specifically if Cam can't play?
Well, I think regardless of who's played quarterback for Utah, I think they win the game. I think they're just a better team overall. They bring back more experience. Obviously, Florida had Anthony Richardson last year, which saved them in a lot of their games. They don't have him anymore. He was a first round draft pick, starting quarterback in the NFL now. So I think with losing him, it's going to be a hit to them. Obviously, they bring back Trevor Etienne as well as Montreal Johnson, right?
Yes, Montreal Johnson.
Yeah. So
Montreal Johnson, I think, is actually the number one back.
Yeah. I mean, they split time though. They're both two good backs. Obviously, being a Clemson fan, I'm familiar with the ETN name, so I know Trevor's a good back as well. But Utah bring back Jaquindon Johnson, and he's not a bad running back as well. He's actually a really solid guy in the backfield. And then you bring back pretty much everybody on the offensive line. Obviously, you lose Dalton Kincaid, but you still have Brent Keith, or I'm sure I'm mispronouncing that name, but a lot of the Utah fans who have stumbled across the channel has said that he was actually better than Kincaid. He just had missed time.
I think he was supposed to be the starter last year, but got hurt, which is what kind of opened that window for Kincaid.
Yeah, so I'm interested to see how good he looks. And I think another big-time acquisition for Utah was the Micah Pittman pickup, the transfer out of Florida State and Oregon. He was at both schools. So I think that is going to be big for their passing game. I think that helps out a lot. I just think Utah's a better team overall. They're a more proven team, I think. Obviously, Cam Rising, I believe, is a top 10 to 15 quarterback in college football. A lot of people are kind of up and down on him based on injury history, but he hasn't missed too much time. I mean, last year he missed a few games, and he missed one game 2 seasons ago, which still isn't that bad. When you're talking about a guy who's played almost 40 games or, 35 to 40 games in his college career, missing 2 to 3 games is not that big of a deal, especially when you're missing games against WSU or somebody lesser talented than you are. So I think if he happens to not play this game, the game will be closer, but I still favor Utah pretty heavily. I think the game's going to be close just because of play styles. I think Florida has the talent to compete up front on the offensive and defensive line with Utah. But at the end of the day, I just think execution-wise, I think being in Utah, having that home field advantage, I'm pretty sure they have one of the highest elevations as far as where their stadium is at. So I think that plays a major factor as
with
well.
them in Colorado, that area.
So I think that plays a major factor as well. Obviously, Florida had the home field advantage last year. The Swamp was rocking, so I think that played into their favor. And I think it's going to be the opposite this year. I do think it's a close game, but I think Utah's going to control the pace. I think they have one of those grit and grind types of styles of play where it's kind of just smash mouth football. And I think they have a really good chance to make a statement with the first game being on Thursday, make a statement to not only the voters, but all of media and all of college football, just to show, hey, whether Cam Rising plays or not, we're still a complete team. So I think this is going to be a really good game, but I do think they're going to control the pace. If I had to give a final prediction, I'm sure I've given a final prediction before, and it's probably going to be different.
Yeah, I think so.
So just because, I mean, obviously Cam Rising may not play now, and at that point, I made a prediction based on him playing. So I'm going to say it's going to be a lower scoring game just because I think Utah's defense is pretty good. I'm going to go 27-20, 27-17. So I think
that is so funny. In my head, my score was 27-17.
Yeah, so I'm going to say right around there, 27-17 or 27-20. I think it'll be pretty close, but I do think Utah's home field advantage. I think their experience is going to show mightily in this game, and I think it's gonna help them out.
Yeah, so there's some things I really want to see from Florida, and obviously Graham Mertz coming over, a super senior graduate transfer, and he's had some success. He's had some success in college football, coming over from Wisconsin. I really want to see what he can do with this Florida offense. Ricky Pearsall was a good wide receiver for them last year, and again, we mentioned the running backs. I think Florida still, and again, I am not in any way trying to say that I think they're going to win this game. But I think for them, this is hopefully a positive step. Again, you mentioned Anthony Richardson, but even with Anthony Richardson, they did not have a great season last year. So I think they still need positive steps for this team with Billy Napier in as the head coach in his second year. I think you just want to see progression. So they had a pretty decent recruiting class. They've got some young pieces in. They got some players. So I don't think I'd be shocked if Florida was able to pull this off. I just don't think it's going to happen. I do like the veteran quarterback, like I said, Mertz, with a young team and some other good skill position players. But like you mentioned, I think overall Utah just has a better team. I do expect Florida to be better than last year, though. And like I said, even with Anthony Richardson, I think Mertz does not have the skills that Anthony Richardson has, but I think he has some things that Anthony Richardson doesn't, which is accuracy, right? Anthony Richardson is a freak of nature athletically. And I think in him being drafted, I think he was the number 4 pick. I don't think that was based on production. I think that was based on potential. Guy with a big arm, ran a 4.4 40, big Cam Newton looking guy. But I don't think that was based on the numbers he put up at Florida. Again, he was able to extend plays and do some things that Graham Mertz isn't going to be able to do. But I think what Graham Mertz is going to be able to do that Richardson wasn't is operate out of the pocket a little bit better, get the ball in some of these skill position players' hands, and let them do what they do. Again, so I suspect that Florida is going to be a little bit better than they were last year. But like you said, I don't think they're going to. I think Utah's better than them this year. And I think the element of Utah wanting to get some get back, as I've said a couple of times, for Florida beating them last year, I think that's going to be fundamental to this game. I am sure it's being pounded in their head that this team beat them last year. We cannot take them lightly. So with that, I think Utah's going to come out ready. They are a very talented team. And again, I think from your notion, they've probably been underdogs far too long. And I think they want to, especially in a game where all eyes are going to be on them. This is the Thursday night game. No other games on. I don't think no NFL games on, no preseason. Everybody's going to be watching Utah, Florida. Again, as you mentioned, the first big game of the college football season. Obviously, we had the week 0 games, but none of those games were games that I think were marquee. Everybody's going to be watching this game. So if Utah wants to make a statement, this is their opportunity.
Yeah, definitely. So that's going to wrap up our Utah versus Florida preview / prediction. Again, we're dropping this video the day of the game. We're recording it on Tuesday, so we're 2 days out. Really excited to see that game, but we're going to be dropping it the day of. Make sure you guys drop in the comment section who you think is going to win this game. This video is probably going to come out 5 or 6 hours before the game releases or the game comes out. So make sure you guys kind of give us your prediction. Those of you guys who haven't joined the Discord, make sure you do that before then. We're going to be talking in the Discord throughout the majority of that game, as well as this weekend as all the week 1 matchups. There's a lot of games. I mean, obviously Saturday, Sunday, and then the lone game on Monday. So the Discord has about 14, 15 people in there. So make sure you guys join that. Again, if you guys have not already, make sure you guys subscribe, hit the like button, notification bell. We have the giveaway coming at 1,000 subscribers. It's been super fun kind of growing this channel and community. We see new faces in here all the time. So if you are new, don't be shy. Make sure you guys let us know who you guys root for, where you guys are viewing us from, and let us know what you'd like to see on the show, any kind of topics, anything like that. But we will see you guys tomorrow. Peace out.